Good morning, Janice.
Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am so needing this group.
Do you still have Luke
Yep.
today?
We have
Oh
two
my,
here today, but
two.
John's here right now. And then
Oh, that's good.
he's got to go to work after I'm done here. But I was like, you can't go to work, not till after my group.
I'm getting two today,
Uh-huh.
and they're gonna have a sleepover. And then in the morning, the other two show up. So I'll have all four of them tomorrow.
Oh,
And the other two are having a sleepover tomorrow night. So must be just sleepover weekend.
yeah, actually, that's what's happening here tomorrow night too. I'm not sure. I think they're sleeping over. That was the plan. And then Emma kind of changed her mind and said, "Oh, I want them in their own beds to get a good rest." But then Jake is telling me, "No, we're sleeping over tomorrow night." So,
Yeah, well, apparently the kids all sleep really, really well here.
oh,
When
good.
we phoned their parents one morning and said, "Yeah, everybody just got out of bed at 8 o'clock."
Yeah,
They both said, "What? You wake up at 5:30 over here."
I know, right? That's what
No,
happens
nobody
too.
else is moving here, so it's like they're all getting up and getting ready for work. So it's like that's why they're
Oh,
awake.
yeah, yeah. And I find that, well, because I put the littlest one in bed with me. So he sleeps all night, whereas
Yeah,
he's up several times during the night at home, right? So
yeah,
I'm like, no, he'll just sleep with me and I'm right here. He rolls over or wakes up. I just say, go
yeah.
sleep.
Just calm them down a little bit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of what we do here too. So
Yeah. Um, oh, I just got a message from Delmain. Let me check it. Uh, but talk about um yeah, whirlwind, right?
yeah,
Oh, she's got a class today in her grandson's classroom. Must be a grandkid week or something,
maybe.
eh? That's okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just checking in here for everyone else. Nobody else has messaged yet,
Oh,
so
there's Jen.
yay. Okay. It's the new moon today too, isn't it?
I saw that.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Are you hiding in a
Hi.
closet, Jen?
I was, I have been like bashing my head against a wall about an Amazon storefront thing for hours. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be on my call. So I'm in my closet getting dressed. Oh,
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
glad you
yeah,
decided to get dressed.
I know. I was in my pajamas. Like, I should not be participating in my pajamas. I just can't. So,
That's funny. Oh, I'm gonna
it's,
switch. There we go.
I
Switch
just
to my
cannot,
speakers.
I just cannot get myself together with technology.
Okay.
It'll
Can you
come
guys
together
hear me?
for you.
Oh, I can't
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear you. I can hear you, Janice.
Keep talking.
Hi, Micah.
Yep.
Hello.
So, what do you want us to say so that you can hear us? My lips are moving. Can you hear me? Is
Speakers. Oh, that's why. Got it. Okay.
that better
Now I
now?
can hear you.
Oh,
And
good.
yes, and I'm on my microphone. Good. No, I knew I could get in because I've done that before. Sometimes when I set up my microphone, it sets up the audio through the microphone. It's like, no, that doesn't work. Hello, you guys. Hello, Micah. Oh,
Hello.
so if you're like me, I'm coming in hot. Got two little ones in the other room. I'm so glad I'm not having to raise my grandchildren. Like I really feel for those people that end up taking their grandchildren and raising them. I love them to pieces, but whew, they take a lot of energy.
Well,
I
we
always,
we had
I
a
always,
lot more energy when we were younger too. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
what were you
I
going to say,
always wonder
Micah?
how I
I've always wondered, like, how did I have 2 kids, 2 dogs, rent a dance, football, like whatever, and work? Like, oh yes, because I was in a constant state of fight or flight. That's
Right.
how.
Well, that's that too, right? And isn't that something to think back and go, how much energy I wasted in that
Yes.
fight or flight, and still, all that energy I had, and so much of it was wasted in survival mode. Yeah, I was totally there. Totally there.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
how much power would you have had if you could have been in that beautiful divine feminine and still, doing it? Like, so cool. Well, let me press record here.
You
Oh, it
did
is
already.
recording. You're recording. Okay, we've been recording the whole time. Okay.
We're going to double
Well,
record today.
yeah, that's right. Make sure we get it all. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. I'll give you guys a minute here, and whew, who else are we missing here?
We want to hear from Lane.
Lane.
How was her
Yeah.
sound bath?
Yeah. Lane is not here.
Hopefully she
Delmain,
comes and tells us all about it.
I hope so too. I want to hear about it. Oh, and Delmain can't make it. She's teaching a class this morning, so it's all cool.
Well, my workshop went good after it finally got settled.
Good.
My inner saboteur on the way there was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, we're doing this and we're doing it well, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Good girl.
So then I get to the place that we're doing the event, and the owner tells me, whatever you do, don't lock yourself out. I went, okay, yeah, no problem. Well, I get there and the door's already unlocked. So I'm like, that's weird. And I message her, hey, did you swing by and unlock the shop? Because she just lives like a half a block away. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, it was unlocked, but everything seems fine. I mean, as fine as what I know it is when I come in when you're here. And so I'm like, oh, I'll just go, get my stuff out of the car and start bringing it in before Janae gets there. Leave my keys and my phone on the table. I go out the door and I hear it like, and I was like, oh, no. No. Locked myself out with my phone, with her number inside. So my friend gets there. I'm like, I got to run to Mary Ellen's house. I'll be right back. And I think like I need to go in her back door because she lives above a shop. Like she's in a building and her husband's shop is below. I go, I'm banging on the door, no answer. The door's unlocked. So I go in and I'm like, hello. Walking through her house. I find her husband. He's like shop vacuuming. Scare him half to death. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I need a key. I locked myself out. And he finally goes, who are you? I was like, oh, right. That's probably a really good thing to lead with, considering I just let myself in your house. And he's like, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. He goes, yeah, you're really not that scary. I was like, thank you. Do you have a key? Please tell me you have a key. And he's like, well, how do I know you? And I'm like,
Oh my God.
I met you at this event you guys had here at your house. So we go downstairs. He gets the key. I run back. It doesn't unlock the door. I'm like, he gave me the wrong key. And so then I'm like, I gotta run back. I get halfway back to their house and I'm like, I wonder if it's the key to the front door. It was the key to the front door, but I was just like, okay, guys, we really gotta get it together, okay? We're already here. We're doing this. If you don't want to do this, then you need to go somewhere else and sit quietly until it's done. Then you can come back and do whatever you want and say whatever you want. And then It'll be fine. And so my friend's like, I don't know what's going on this morning. Like, my alarm didn't go off. Like this happened. Like, I didn't have time to swing by my daughter. Like, everybody that showed up that day was like, my alarm didn't go off. I woke up late. I couldn't find my keys. I was just
Oh
like,
my
okay.
gosh.
Everybody take it.
This was Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I
was
was
it
just
you were
like,
saying? What was it you were saying about locking yourself out?
oh, I locked myself out of the building that we were doing the event in.
No, but prior to you telling us the story, you kept saying in your mind, don't lock yourself out.
Oh, the owner had said, make sure you don't lock yourself out. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
okay. Well, the door was already unlocked, so I don't know how I ended up locking myself out. I was probably dumb and like twisted the key somehow just right before I pulled it out and went in. But
That's
I was
okay. I
just
just
like,
what I heard was the word don't. And of course, you know how the universe does
Lock
not like
yourself
that
out.
word.
oh, do?
Okay,
Oh,
I thought
do?
she said I knocked myself out with my
Oh,
phone at
I mean,
first. I was like,
that might have been better. That would have made just as good of a story,
oh
but
my gosh. Hi, Lane. Sorry. That was hilarious, Micah. That is a perfect story to retell to people. She
and
walk
that's what
into her house and scare her husband and do you have a key? And who are you?
yeah, he's like, who are you? And then even when I went back to give him the key, he's like, okay, remind me one more time how I know you. And I was just like, buddy, you just gave me a key to your wife's shop and now you're asking again who I am? I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, get it together, walk it
Oh,
off. You
how
had a
did
half
it go?
thought to walk it off. It was good.
Yeah.
I think my sister-in-law for a while was like, because I was just like, oh, I do energy clearings and healings and break patterns and do sound therapy and whatever. And like, I look over and she's like this. And she looks over at her daughter like this. And I'm like, it's too late. You're already here.
Yay. Standing. Did you feel your power? Like, were you there fully present or were you kind of like, I'm stepping in, fingers crossed?
No, I was just like, I already locked myself out. Like twice. So, I mean, there really isn't anything else bad that could happen at this point. Unless I lock everybody that's coming out. So, and like when they got there, everybody was just like frazzled. And I was like, whoo, we all made it finally, right? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, you want to hear the start to our day? This is how this went. And they were all like, oh my gosh. I was like, right? We could have been doing this outside.
Throw you off. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I'm glad it went well for you. How many
It was
people were there?
good. We had 8.
Okay, good number. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Plus the two of you would make 10, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We had
that's-
10 signed up, but 2 dropped out. But one lives like 3 hours away. So
right.
I was like, eh.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
and I sold 2 paintings.
I was gonna ask you. Oh my gosh, that's
So
so
I was
fabulous.
very, very pleased and very excited. There was some ladies there had some greeting cards and they sold greeting cards and I sold paintings. So I was excited. It's like, okay. And one of the other ladies said, and to another artist. And I went, oh yeah, I guess that is. And she said, that's a big thing if another artist buys your work. And I went,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that because I've sold lots of pieces to other artists.
Well,
So,
it
I was
is.
like,
And you know
that's pretty
what? Other
exciting.
artists are some of your best customers too. Like they keep coming back and collecting. That's so fabulous. Is the show over now, Kelly? I couldn't remember
No, it's hanging till the end of March.
Oh
So
gosh.
I think
Wow.
that third weekend of March, we're gonna have another reception just
Mhm.
before it closes.
Nice. So can you
Yeah.
do a few more paintings and get them in if you have time?
Yeah, that keyword there, time.
This is important. You sold 2. You need to get 2 more in there.
Yeah, I took 16 pieces, so I thought,
Okay.
oh, that's quite a few pieces. So
That is a lot. Good
I
for you.
could kind of go scrounging around here and see what else is here. And that was just what I felt was enough. It's not a very large space.
Yeah,
So
that's so fabulous. What a great way to start. Yay.
yeah, I was excited. So
Good job. And Lane, how was your sound bath? Or
It was really cool. So yeah, it's just outside of Cochrane, and there's a big dome. And then you go in the dome. It's not completely soundproof, but it was kind of cool because when she started, a bunch of coyotes started howling, and it was like so cool. And she just kind of, well, she explained what she does first of all, and then she went through all your chakras and cleared them with her um, the bowls, but she sat in the middle of a bunch of bowls. I learned a lot about the bowls. Like they're expensive. They're
oh
like
yeah.
$1,700 a bowl. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And she had, I don't even know how many. She sat in the middle, and then yeah, you just kind of meditated and cleared your chakras, and then went in there with an intention. And I just felt like a bunch of whooshes of goosebumps, a lot, like depending on which bowl she was using. Like some of them did nothing, but they still sounded really neat. And then all of a sudden it was over, and I was just like, "Oh, it's kind of sad." It was quick, but it was really neat. And when I went in with my intentions, I do feel like something shifted. It feels way better. So it did clear something for me, and it feels great. So I recommend it. It's a neat
Oh,
experience, and I'm really glad I went. And she has all different sessions, like aromatherapy ones with the singing bowls, and different people. She comes in and does breath work and singing bowls. So yeah, if you guys are in the area, look her up.
yeah, I am definitely going to check it out. Because it's almost
Totally.
like a massage for your energy field, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
I would, if I would go again, I'd go in the afternoon, just because, well, I guess I wouldn't have got the coyotes in the afternoon. That part was cool, but the drive there is so beautiful, and we were in the dark. So like we kind of missed out on, like, that's part of going out there. I love the drive there. So
Oh, nice. So was it about an hour
the
drive?
drive,
Yeah.
yeah, it was about an hour.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, so
I went to one when I was on Maui a few years ago, and it's just so, I don't even know, like you said, that goosebumps of energy going through you. She had
yeah.
one bowl that it was on a long stem, and she held it, and she would place it right near your heart chakra. And it was, the intention was to pull energy from that. And it was like, she'd come around me, and it was, you think you're in a half asleep, and all of a sudden you kind of eyes half open and not open. And it's like, oh, she's standing right over me. No wonder I was feeling that heavy, like strong, strong pull of energy. And then after it was all over, she explained about lots of the bowls and what she had been doing. And she said, you will feel her walking around you and stuff. And but it's like part of me kind of just had a really good snooze.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you. That was fun.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely a great experience. I have had a few. The very first time I had an experience with sound frequency was in my training class with my shamanic teacher. She had invited someone in that did use tuning forks with the healing on the body, and she just said, who we need a volunteer, and I oh, I guess I'm going. So, so I got to go on the table while she demonstrated. And as she was moving up my body with the tuning fork, she started at the root chakra, a different tuning fork for each chakra. And then she got up to my solar plexus. And it honestly felt like my whole energy field went like, and my eyes flew open. I'm like, and I wanted to say, did you feel that? Like, oh my gosh. Right? So it was very cool. Yeah. And then I've had other ones in Kundalini yoga sound baths too, and had like huge flashes of light. So it absolutely creates change. It's pretty cool. I love it.
Well, I didn't realize that each bowl is like a key, like
Mm.
D sharp and stuff too. Like I was just like, oh, mind blown. I never even thought of it this much. And it's like, yeah, this is actually music. Cool, right? So she's actually playing different keys like a musician would.
Right?
So it's super interesting.
Yeah, it is so cool. Oh, let me just check in quick with Jen here. We lost Delmaine. She said she couldn't make it, and then she popped in, and I don't know what happened there. But hey, Jen, how's it going?
Hi. I'm good. I'm trying to, I just have to say out loud, I absolutely hate technology, even though it's like the method for what I'm trying to do. I just trying to figure out in my head how I can harness like two different websites and get the clients' information on the website so that they can access their charts for this free workshop that I'm offering. It's like, holy, I don't even know how to do it. And all I'm trying to do, I pass that on to a friend of mine, like, how do you embed this chart generating software onto my website? So she was doing that last night, and I was like, okay, I can do the Amazon list of these books that I want to have listed somewhere for the people who come to this workshop. It was hours and I was unsuccessful. And I'm like, how many videos can I watch? What am I missing? Where is this missing link? And I was so frustrated that I was like in tears when I went to bed. It was
Oh, no.
ridiculous. So I think I just need to give up and hire a VA and like just not do that part of it. I have no grit. I have no, like, I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to make this happen. I go from 0 to 60 on the stress level, and nobody thinks properly at the stress level.
I think you're
So,
right on when you say I'm going to hire someone to do it, because exactly that, you're wasting time and energy that you could be putting somewhere else where a VA can come in and do it fairly quickly for you. And even if it's just on, I'm just going to hire you to do a couple jobs, not a permanent position, right?
mm-hmm.
And then show me how you did it so that I can write it down. And if anything needs fixing, I can go in and fix it or whatever.
And
But
that's so funny that you say that, because I was also trying to send an AWeber email to one of my classes, and I literally could not figure out. I've done that. I did that last week. Why could I not figure it out? It was like the complete internal collapse of all all tech processes. So I just, as you say, I just have to hire someone, and I now have to figure out where you find someone who just will work for an hour or two as opposed to be full time.
okay, I think probably any VA would do that for you. But I had a woman contact me this week, and her name is Sally Bindi. And how she contacted me was brilliant. Cold call, but what she did was she sent me an email. She was on my Instagram. She looked around it, got familiar with some of the posts, found my email, sent me an email, told me how much she enjoyed my Instagram and what she really liked about it, especially this particular post when you said this. And then she said, if you're ever in Portugal, look me up and we will go for a coffee or tea together. And there was a photo of her holding two Starbucks cups, one with her name and one with my name.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, that was brilliant. And then she included in it some marketing advice. And basically it was everything that I learned through Whitney and Dawn in my that was it. And I was like, wow, I'm impressed. And she just said, if you need some help in your marketing or social media or whatever, give me a call. So I messaged her and I said, I loved what you just did. I loved the way you approached me, and I'm following you on Instagram now, and I will absolutely hold on to your name because I was impressed. But I just finished a full year of marketing advice for a lot of money. So it's like I'm kind of done for now with that, but I'm sure like there's so many out there. So, and I probably have a few I could refer on to you, Jen. You could reach out and see.
Please.
Yeah, I can send you her name. She's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Does she do what I'm trying to do? Would she help
Probably,
me like from a VA perspective?
probably because you just need
Wow.
somebody that's familiar with websites and how to put
Yeah,
things
and
in.
social media, and I need someone to teach me how to, yes,
But
please send me that information.
I would just reach out and ask her that and see.
Mhm.
And if not, then yeah, there's other people out there, I'm sure that, and you could even post that in the Synergy group. Right? Are you still in Synergy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
post
am.
it in Synergy. Say you're looking. Actually, maybe I don't know. I could send you hers, but yeah, that Synergy group would probably have people in there. I know I have
Perfect.
other groups too, like that I'm in from Melanie Beckler's groups that I'm in. And that's exactly what we do whenever we have a question, and that we help each other with whatever. Yeah. So
Perfect. Thank you.
you're welcome. Oh, so good that you guys are here, and I love this that we can connect and help each other. This is a money course, and I really have no right to teach a money course. I'm not saying that I'm the authority on money. I'm not. But what I have done is taken a lot of money coaching courses, and I've had a lot of money business coaches, and I can pass on what I've learned and what's working for me and what's not, and tweaking it. And I really am really starting to embody it, and I'm seeing changes and shifts. And so, and I'll be straight up and totally transparent with you guys. Like my business has made me $30,000 a year part-time. I want to change that. I want to blow that up and change it to $30,000 a month. Like I just want to go further. And so these are the ways and that I'm learning to continue to unwrap and unravel a lot of the entanglement around money. And even when I was, reviewing this program and going back through it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this so much. Like, I need to review this information. So they say you teach what you need to learn, right? So here I am, fully vulnerable and transparent with you guys. I'm not the expert, but I'm going to share what I have learned. And I have been in some courses that have been thousands of dollars, and I hope I can pass on some of that info for you. Hi there, Shy. So I want to start though with a meditation, a heart opening meditation, because this is a very important key. This is one I have embodied. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Get comfy. Oh, and I will also share with you, because you guys are on my mind, and last night here I was, who am I to be teaching this? Who am I to be, doing a money course of any kind? And early this morning, I was dreaming and being told, tell them it's the butterfly effect. It's the butterfly effect. It's all about the butterfly effect. And I'm like, how is this linked to money? And I forgot that I dreamt that until I opened up my YouTube music to get set up for this meditation. And the video that said the butterfly effect popped up. So this is the meditation music for the butterfly effect. And then we can talk about why that came through after. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Oh, all right. So settle in. Your candle lit. Take a deep breath while you look at this video screen for a minute. And how beautiful that image is. And that light in the middle there, imagine that's your heart light that she's walking towards. So let's just keep that in your mind while you close your eyes. Take in some nice, long, deep breaths. Breathe in long, slow, and deep, stretching your lungs, and then let it go at your own pace. Letting everything else go around you. All the struggles, all the frustrations, all the sudden changes that have come into your life. Just let them all go. Be here, right now. Come back to your normal breathing pattern when you're ready. And then imagine that beautiful golden light in your heart space. The spark of light that begins to grow. And see it unfolding and opening like a beautiful flower. Petal by petal. As you breathe into your heart. It begins to open up with the brightest glow at the very middle. And as it's opening and unfolding, it's growing in size. So this whole flower is expanding around you. Let it open and feel the love there. And feel so much gratitude that you're taking this time right here, right now. Letting it grow and letting that feeling of love open up your heart even more. Soften and feel the abundance of love there in your heart. Let it open, expand, and breathe into that beautiful light. And feel that channel of light that expands up and down through the center of this flower. And let it go down into the earth. Go all the way down, deep into Mother Earth. Feel her heart. See her heart light there. Feel your heart sinking up to her heart. And feel that love and support come up through the earth. All the way up into your heart, into your flower. Let it spread through your flower, expanding it even more. Feel that light reaching up through your heart, almost like a beautiful pyramid light structure from your heart moving straight up. And the tip top of that pyramid is connecting to the universe, the heart of the universe. And as it connects up, it is opening that flow. Open that flow up. Let it come down and fill up that pyramid with light, filling up the flower within, full of light. All the way down. And imagine from the base of that pyramid at your flower, another pyramid inverted, going all the way down to Mother Earth's heart, and the tip of that pyramid touching into the earth, Mother Earth's heart. So this beautiful crystalline light pyramids that you are completely enfolded with this heart flower light at the center in your heart. And let those pyramids continue to expand and grow out. There's no confinement here. So if it feels like you need more space, see them grow and expand outward and upward, so that you are there with your flower heart center and you can feel the spaciousness around you. That you could reach your arms and legs out and there'd be so much space you wouldn't touch the sides of the pyramid. Feel yourself there, feeling free and open and expanded. And I want you to bring your awareness into your heart center. What is your biggest desire in your heart for your financial income? What is your biggest desire of what you would want to create in your life? Feel the safety and freedom within this beautiful crystalline pyramid structure. Open up your heart and just imagine the light expanding out like a star as you open your heart with honesty and truth and really see. How are you blocking that money from flowing? How are you trying to play small to be safe? If you really let yourself expand and open, how much money would you allow to flow in? If you really knew you could, how much money would you let come in to your life? And what kind of freedom would that give you? What kind of expansion would that allow you? And just say to yourself, I am unlimited. I have access to unlimited support. It is safe for me to want more. It is safe for me to allow money to flow in. And you can feel how easy it is to open to abundance. Feel abundance in your life in all ways. It fills you up. It feels full and expansive. Now intentionally open up for the flow of money. How does this feel for you? What does the energy of money feel like for you? We know what abundance feels like. And we know what gratitude feels like. It feels full and overflowing. Now, what does the energy of money feel like for you? Imagine having a stack of cash on your desk. Imagine getting an influx of money in your bank account, or winning a lottery, or having a closet full of cash that was never ending. What does that feel like? Does it feel like relief? Does it feel like freedom? Does it feel fun and make you almost want to laugh or giggle? I want you to hold on to that feeling as we slowly are coming back. So take a deep breath. Wiggle around your fingers and toes. Stretch. And when you're ready, come on back. Open your eyes. Okay, so I knew what the butterfly effect was, but I looked it up this morning. The actual definition of the butterfly effect is in chaos theory, the phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. And after reading that, I was like, that's exactly what we're doing here. That's exactly it, because it's the minute little shifts that can create huge change in what we're thinking and feeling around money and manifestation in general. And so there's a lot of ways we don't even realize we're kind of, I hate saying the word blocking, but I can't think, hindering the flow, choking off the flow from coming in. for you.
Or resisting, could we use resisting?
Yeah, we could use resisting. Absolutely. That would be a good way of looking at it, because we actually have been conditioned from our family, from the people that raised us, to play small. So there's a story here, and yeah, and I want to share with you about the flea. And I don't know if you knew this, but a flea can jump as high as 2 feet. And so they're able to like catapult themselves forward 40 to 100 times their body length. Teeny little flea, right? So that's in comparison to somebody that's like, say, 6 feet tall, being able to jump 336 feet. That's huge, right? So the flea can take these great leaps and bounds. But if you take a flea and you put it into a mason jar with a lid on it, it will jump and hit the top, and it'll jump and hit the top, and it'll keep doing that. And then eventually it'll stop jumping so high. Like it learns it can't go that high, can't go that high. So it starts to jump smaller within the jar. And if you put another flea in the jar with it, it will also jump and hit the top. But the neat thing is that it will not try as many times as the first flea did. So it's like, the first flea is like, hey, bro, better stop hitting your head. It's not worth it. Don't do it. You can't do it. So the flea stops, right? And what if it's a male and a female flea in that jar, and they end up having a little baby? That baby will never try and jump that high. It's a conditioning. And when you think of that as far as us, we've been conditioned that we can dream and manifest to a certain amount, and that's it. When you think back to your parents, your grandparents, and what they've been through, they're the ones that conditioned us to play small and limit ourselves, because they were limited. No offense to them. Holy man, they went through a lot. My grandma and grandpa went through the dirty 30s and both wars, and it was hard, right? My mom was born during the Second World War, conditioned to preserve, to be thrifty, right? Be careful. Don't try to go too far. Like, just stay in your little safe zone. But now times are changing, and we're in a whole different world. And as consciousness is growing and expanding, we can grow and expand with it. We're here actually to draw a line in the sand and say, no, those limitations don't apply to me anymore. And so what we're doing is we're releasing all those limitations that are within us. And that's what I'm working on, right? Too, as you guys are. It's like, okay, why am I thinking that way? Why am I thinking that, to create a business and make $30,000 a month or $100,000 a month is not possible? Why am I thinking that? Because it's the limitations that were around me. So as you begin to grow and expand your desires and say, okay, well, what if? And you're pushing out the energy field, you're expanding it, you're pushing it out further and going, I think I can go more. I think I can go further. I think I can do this, right? And as you push that out, more possibilities and potentialities are available for you, because it's all there in the universe. It's all there. Everything is at the quantum energetic level. Everything is possible. You think it, you dream it, it's possible. But so is the opposite of it. So is the potential that I could go bankrupt again. The potential that I could really grow and expand and create $1 million business, maybe, or I could go bankrupt. Either one. But when the coin is in the air, what side are we going to focus on? Because we know at in the study of quantum physics, that wherever you place your attention causes an impact and directly affects how energy works, right? It's the theory, and I'm not very good at explaining this because I'm not a science person. But when scientists study energy at the molecular level, it changes when they're observing it. The reactions and behaviors of the energy changes as they observe it, and it does what they expect it to do. So it's telling us that where we place our attention and our focus is exactly what we can expect. And so if you're experiencing ceilings of what you can reach, then that's your expectation. And I think I've told you guys this before, that is why I keep hitting $30,000 a year, is because I know that's the one I have to leap over and do all the government taxes and stuff. I'm allowed to make up to $30,000 and it's okay. It's easy. I don't have to charge tax or anything. As soon as I hit that mark, as soon as I go $1 over that mark, I got to start charging tax. And it's like, no, I don't want to go there. So, so I've been working on breaking through that glass ceiling. I actually have a accountability business person that I'm meeting with every second month. She has her own business, and we are actually going to meet every second month and focus on paperwork, focus on goals, that sort of thing. So it's really wonderful. So I'm totally going to break through that this year. And I want to be making $30,000 a month. That's my number for now. Eventually it's 100,000, but I go in increments. It was like 12,000 and 15,000. Then now it's 30,000. So in December, between my husband and I, we broke over that up to $15,000. So I was like, finally, we did it. Now let's start January and February and let's do it again and go higher. So it really, the more we think we can do it, the more we believe it's possible, the more we expand. So I did it. We did it. And so it's believable now. I did it, right? Let's go further. Let's keep going. And that's why too, it's really important to have mentors and women around you that are doing it, that are reaching further. So we're going to come out of the closet here. And I want you to think about, what is the amount that you would like to make monthly or yearly? I like monthly. To me, I can wrap my head around that. Yearly, it always seems so far away that I could say, oh yeah, I want to make $1 million. And then, but you break that down, right? How much is that per month, right? And then that's when the belief breaks down. So I like to stay where I can believe and then expand from there. So I believe I can reach 30,000 per month. I believe I can get there. I actually have the programs in place where that could work. Where are you at? And notice if you're afraid to say it. The first time I ran this program, we went through and we talked about it, and it was like, well, okay, I think if I could make $3,000 a month, that would be great. Awesome. Can you go bigger? Right? And a whole bunch of resistances come up like, well, I don't need that much. What would I do with it? I'm like, okay, there's where we need to blow the door open. Right? And then one girl came on and she's like, okay, I really, really, truly believe and want to make 100,000 a month. And I'm like, good for you. And then once she said that, everybody else started to go, well, okay, I would like more. So it's like, we're afraid to even say it, claim it, because we're afraid we'll be greedy. We're seen as greedy. We're seen as like, what do you need that much money for? Like, think about it. Just think about it. What all you could do, where you could make changes in the world. We need women with more money because women are going to lead the world. This is what's happening. And so we need the women to have access to the money because we've not had that in the past, but it is changing rapidly right now. And there are women that are building big businesses and doing some really amazing things. And there are some men too. I'm not saying men, but we gave them the reins. It didn't work, right? It's time for a change. And this is what's happening. And, you know, the Dalai Lama said, women, Western women will be the ones to change the world. Well, we need money in our pocket in order to create impacts and changes and effects. And even if it's just within your own family, where you can help out the people in your family. And there's a fear too. Somebody, okay, she's got to go. Somebody might want your money. It's like, oh, but then my whole family's going to come wanting money from me, right? There's that too. So let me know. Let's go around. Where are you at with money? Can you talk about it easily? Because it's been a hush hush thing, right? Yeah. Anybody want to share?
This is a big deal for me. And in that meditation, it kind of I realized what all of my breaks are and where I have to break through. And it's, with my first husband, he lost his job all the time. So like he never had the consistent income. And at one point I had 5 jobs and was like running around teaching part-time. I was working at a pizza joint when I was literally 49 years old, schlepping pizza and beer, was driving Uber. I was doing everything I could do to support the family. And he would take my younger son out for daddy cam dates and like go spend more money than I could make in an evening. And I was so exhausted by that situation and so angry that when now with my current husband, I'm so grateful that that he would like for me to take advantage of the luxury to not work. And yet I don't trust to not work because I just can't imagine being 100% reliant on somebody. And I just feel like I have things to do. Like there's a contribution to make or whatever. And then to imagine, I think when I'm considering my job and I'm considering my business growing to the point where I would make that much money, I'm like, oh my God, I would have to work so hard. Like in my brain, how hard I was working for pennies before, to imagine that I could make that much more money is like how much I couldn't possibly work that hard anymore. It's funny, part of my exhaustion last night and complete meltdown was like how little I'm at the point in my journey where I'm feeling anger and sadness. So I cry faster than I did before, but I like don't have the grit to keep pushing through hard stuff. I'm like, fuck it. I don't even want to do it. I just like give up. No, I'm not gonna, this is awful. So then to think forward and think like, okay, so now I want to make $10,000 a month or whatever. That's my wow goal. There was the wall for me was like, I don't want to work that hard. And so how do I eliminate that wall and be like, it's about expanding and compressing time. It's about, the butterfly effect, as you say, and creating the systems that will support me to make 10,000, but not working like I did before.
Mm-hmm. And so it's also about raising your prices so that it reflects the value of what you're giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not to give everything away for free. Yeah. 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 Oh, I hear you. That burnout is trauma. That's trauma energy.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to let Kelly talk, and then I'm going to actually give you guys something to really dig into that might get to the root of that for you. Okay.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. Okay. Go,
Yay.
Kelly. Yeah.
My contribution to this conversation isn't going to be the same as yours.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had an income for over 27 years. I have worked hard at maintaining the household, and we have a good household because I'm here and able to do that. I believe that if I was out working, our house would be in turmoil continuously. Our daughter said the other day, Mom, I'm so grateful you were home. I went to my friends' homes after schools and it was like, what do you mean your mom's not here?
Mhm.
And, you know, it wasn't my choice. It was a health issue that I stayed home. And I honestly don't know that any employer would hire me for 3 hours twice a week. And so that was why we decided I would stay home. And it was like, where are you going to find a job that somebody's going to be able to keep you and be reliable for 3 hours twice a week? And so my job, I didn't ever get payment other than the fact that my husband brought home the paycheck. So now here we are, kids are grown, now we've got little people. I don't charge my kids to have babysitting. No, let me see. Back up, before they had daycare, I charged them daycare prices, but it wasn't even close to that. It was like $20 a day. It's like, no, just to make them say, I'm not taking advantage of you, Mom. So, and it wasn't like, you know, my husband says, oh, you're just going to give that back to them, right? I said, probably. You know, it wasn't like I was going to go and make $1 million for $20 a day for the kids. It was more of a, it makes you realize that mom's not just doing this because mom has nothing else to do.
Mhm.
Now here we are, I'm taking this course with you and it's like, we're in our money mind flow. And it's like, yeah, I sold 2 paintings. It's the first time I've sold a painting in 4 years. And prior to that, I was selling 10 paintings a year. So this is new. Did I set my bar very high on the show the other day? I don't know if I even set a bar. So
Mhm.
when that lady wanted to buy one painting and her friend bought the other one, I was like, oh wow. Now what do I do with all that? What do I do with that energy? You know? So I'm grateful that it happened. And it's different than what you girls have. So I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just different. And at this stage of my life, I'm going to be looking into going, well, where's my focus? Is my focus going to be more on my paintings? Or is my focus going to be on the little people?
Yeah,
So the little people only stay little for so long.
they do. They do.
So
So I want you to reshift how you're looking at the money that comes into your household is the channel that has the least resistance. So it's coming through your husband, which is totally fine, right? It's yours too. Like you said, you were there to take care to balance the household, right? So think of it as our money flow that's coming in. It's totally cool. And when you sold some paintings, you know, how was that kind of like, oh, fun money, extra? Like,
oh
cool. What
no,
am I going to do with
it
this?
goes into the same bank account. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's contributing into the same place where everybody all of the money goes to.
Right. And
Like
that,
I've got friends that say, and they've been married for 30 years, and it's like, oh, my bank account, oh, and his
mm,
bank account. And it's like, what? It's like, so it's always just been ours, you know?
yeah. Yeah. And that's the same with me and John. Always, we've always just had one. And I manage it all. He's not even interested in knowing where what's going on. So it's like, okay, the flow of money that's coming in. And when I say I made 30,000 in my business, I am separating that from our income, right? When I say we hit in December, we hit past our goal, then that was both of our money flow. Now his money doesn't fluctuate at all. He's on salary. It's there. So when we do have access, it's because of my business and what's coming through me. But it's the channel of least resistance. So even if you were like, okay, well, where could I play with this some more? And it doesn't even have to be like if you're comfortable in your money, that's awesome. Just, take what I say and take what works and let go of the other stuff. Um, there is a desire in me to have a bigger impact in the world. And it comes from my heart. And so in order for me to have that impact, I need to have more money flowing in, or else I can't continue to expand and reach more people and do, bigger retreats and things like that. So I have a place for my money to go. And that's what's driving me forward. So, and that's awesome. And I love that you're there. Like, oh my gosh, the kids need stable places so badly these days. So, so blessed to have you there with those kids. And that is gold. That's absolute gold. What I wanted to say, because we're just getting a little past our time here, but what I wanted to say for you to think about this week is, if there are any money wounds, especially for you, Jen, from your mom and dad. So when you think back to childhood, we all have mother wounds and daddy wounds. And think about, we're looking for patterns here. How did your mom or dad or both go through both? How did your dad abandon you or wouldn't or couldn't be there for you?
Are you talking about money or are you talking in general?
In general, in any way. So my dad was gone a lot. He traveled a lot while we were younger. And then he went into his own business to follow his own dream, which was very cool. But then there was no financial support there, right? Like there wasn't that. And so I just sat down and without judgment, we're not judging our parents because they're coming from a whole different place, right? So no judgment. I love my dad. I love my mom. But here's what it was. I was unsupported financially. I was unsupported, like that's physically. Unsupported financially is physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like I was, when I went through, I'm like, holy man, yeah, that was a lot, right? And abandoned in that way. My mother abandoned me emotionally. She kept me at a distance. I was the youngest of three girls. She was an alcoholic and had a lot of mental health issues. She connected to my oldest sister like she was a friend, but I was the youngest. So I was told to go play. No, you don't need to know about this. Go. And even when she was dying in the hospital, she wouldn't open up to me and she wouldn't allow me to help her. She'd want my older sister. So I was kind of pushed out, right? And felt abandoned in that way. And so kind of go through and look at, how was I abandoned and how was I unsupported? And then look at where you are now, right? So Jen, I learned if I wanted anything, I had to go out and do it. I had to go out and get a job and take care of it myself. My dad wasn't there. I couldn't ever run behind my dad, my big protective dad from my mom when she was being abusive. That didn't work. I couldn't rely on him financially for my physical needs. That didn't work. So I learned to go out and do it myself, right? So now here I am doing it myself, but how am I abandoning myself now? And how am I not supporting myself? I'm giving myself just the basic needs. That's what we had as we were growing up. We always had meals on the table. We always had clothes. They weren't the ones we wanted, but that's what we had. We had a home, but there was no excess. And look at where I am now. It's like, I'm stuck here in my business. There's no excess, right? I feel like I have to work harder in order to get it. So how can I support myself so that I can remove these resistances and let it flow? That'll give you something to think about for the week. It's like,
That's so interesting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I had some huge epiphanies there and went, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And Kelly, I want to make sure you know there is no judgment on this end for you staying at home. I mean, staying at home is not easy either. Right?
Well, thank
There's-
you. I understand that. Mine was more of a physical disability that I wasn't able to go and work in a physical job anymore. So,
Mm,
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
I believe that in my mind, I use that as oh, you're not good enough to work.
Mhm.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, this is 35 years of living with this. And it's like, okay, well, we've moved on and, we've survived and everybody has come through. And I'm still walking and talking. And, I work very hard at being able to still walk and move around. So it's not like yeah, there is days I feel sorry for myself that I couldn't go out and work. I look at my friends and they talk about, oh, I did this with this buddy at work and I did this with this buddy at work. And it's like, I miss that part of the work environment is
Mhm.
the community, the camaraderie. And it's like, oh, we're going out for lunch with the girls at work. Oh, did you see that salesman that came in last week? He had 3 kids. He was showing us all his pictures of it. Those are the things that I miss. And being at home, you don't get that unless you really put yourself out there and you get involved in
Mhm.
the kids' activity. And I say the kids' activities because, well, that was my focus at the time.
Mhm.
So
mhm.
thank you for saying that, Jen. That no judgment here. It
Yeah,
was
no judgment here.
No, I always wanted to be home with my kids. That's all I wanted.
Mhm.
yeah. I always
Yeah.
wanted to have curly hair, so we always want what we can't
Yeah,
have.
that's right. That's
and,
right.
and I
That's
think about it, and
funny.
it's like, okay,
Well,
so
and it sounds a little bit like too, you missed out on that sense of your own independent life because that's what I also got
Mhm.
going out to work as much as I wanted to be home. It was that sense of this is my life. This is my independence. This is what I'm
Mhm.
doing, right? And so because you were always wrapped up whole in the home, you might have not felt that. I don't know. Maybe you did. I don't want to put anything on you, but
and it goes right back to pregnancy. Everybody was having their, oh, we're gonna go and do prenatal exercise aerobics or whatever. No, there I am in a wheelchair being pregnant, and it's like, okay, nice for you guys to, and everybody would come over after and they would tell me all about it, and it was like, how do I be excited for you that you got to do that and I didn't? So this whole where I forget where it says is comparison kills.
Mhm.
It kills the spirit.
Yeah.
So for me to sit back, go 33 years ago, 34 years ago, and say, oh yeah, this little guy, I was pregnant with this little guy, and oh, but I compared to myself to that one there, and like she only gained 8 pounds and I gained 38.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, well, she wasn't in a wheelchair. So but I look at it and I go, I gave birth to a healthy little person, you know.
Yeah.
So it's the whole comparison, and maybe it's just the thing that I've been doing ever since the
Yeah.
35. So it's like,
And maybe it's releasing right now too for you.
oh, it's lots of it keeps coming up, and it's like that's a part of my life that's been more than half of my life, and accidents happen they happen,
Yeah.
and we don't know if they're on purpose or for a reason. They're called accidents for a reason. I think it's how you respond to them. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd say my first 10 years, I didn't respond very well. I stuck in a little hole, and so now, 25 years later, or after that, it's like, okay, things are we're taking off the onion peel. So we're
Yeah.
getting pretty close to that core of that onion. It's getting hot here.
See if you can find patterns of like you were maybe, and I don't want to say dependent on your husband, but that was the arrangement. And even right from the accident, was there that pattern in your parents in any way where your mom didn't work or couldn't or was not even working? It's not even about working. It's about that sense of purpose, right?
Yeah, no, there's no comparison in our lifestyle compared to my parents. So
That's interesting.
yeah, it's very interesting. I was like, somebody says, oh, you were baby bumped or birth bumped or whatever you call it. And I'm going, what do you mean? They say you're born in the wrong family. And it's like, oh, I don't have a lot of personality traits,
Right.
situational personality traits as the rest of the family.
Go back further. Maybe go back further.
Especially evolving around money.
Yeah. Maybe go back further and look at grandparents and patterns and just dig into that a little bit and go, okay, well, what kind of patterns have repeated through the family? Because there's often a lot of, and it doesn't have to be that somebody was ill or sick or dependent on someone else, but just see what you can unravel there. And it's about, you know, that sense of purpose and independence and where do I fit and what's my purpose here? And it's not always like to keep everyone, you know, to keep everyone safe and so that they can have their purpose too. But yeah, healer, right? The healer within. Yeah, that sort of thing. So it's always good to dig in and look at, okay, what else is there? And also it's like, okay, now you have an opportunity. You sold some paintings. Now you have an opportunity to really go into that art world, to do your painting, to start, like that would be fun. I'm thinking you would really love that, to be the artist and contribute that way. So like, just, yeah, take a peek at it, see what's there. And we can chat about this again next time, a little bit of like, what did you find? Get clear on, you know, what you're going to create over this year, like how you would love your life to unfold. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you can start to get clear on your intentions and start to see, okay, what are the strings that are anchoring me down here and where can I let those go? So I did, I think you guys were there, the cord cutting meditation too. And that is very, I was purposefully doing that for me. For everyone, but for me first. And it was very much, I was cutting cords to my dad because I started to see, as I was digging into this week, I started to see how much I was repeating his patterns. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to let you guys go. It's an hour and 15. I hope that these ones will be a little shorter, but we will be as we go along. It's always, we love chatting in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
I love that part. Okay.
And have a
Perfect.
good,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Kelly.
thank you, Janice. Have a great week.
Oh, I will. You too. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.